Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Frizzalone.
And I'm Jeff Rusak. A 22-year-old U.S. Marine from North Danville has been killed in Afghanistan. Word of Corporal Ian Muller's death came at this morning's legislative breakfast.
I would like to start by requesting a moment of silence. It was very sad news to learn that, in fact, a young man from North Danville was killed in Afghanistan. That has not been put in the paper yet. I don't think it's had time, but Ian Muller, who lives in North Danville, his family was notified of his death this weekend, and I would like to ask that we take a moment of silence in his memory and his honor.
The Department of Defense says Muller was killed conducting combat operation in Afghanistan's Helmand province. Muller was assigned to the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Representatives also discussed the health care reform that's on the move in the legislature. Vermont is trying to adopt a health benefit exchange program. This allows Vermonters more choices of health care at an affordable price. If the bill passes, it will give Vermont access to federal funding to make the health care system more efficient. A health care reform board will develop if the bill passes, which allows health officials to put Vermont on a sustainable health care budget, which replaces the existing one.
Piece of the legislation that is the topic of the public hearing tonight would set forth sort of a time frame for Vermont to move from where we are now to ultimately a payment system that would get us the greatest economy and control costs and would set forth a method of financing. But this bill really is the timetable, the exchange, and the creation of the board.
Tonight, there's a public hearing at the state's Vermont interactive television sites, including one at Lyndon State College, to discuss health care reform. The meeting will begin at 6 p.m.
On town meeting day in St. Johnsbury, the one-year term select board seats were won by Alan Ruggles and Bill Merrow, but incumbent Bernie Timpson thought the margin of victory and the margin of error were too close for comfort. News 7's Chris Peltier was at the Elks Lodge for the recount and the recount results.
Yeah.
One for Person.
Short one?
One for Ruggles. One for Merrill, one for Ruggles.
Okay.
One for Timpson, that's it.
Incumbent St. Johnsbury Select Board member Bernie Timpson lost his race for re-election by 32 votes, and with 529 spoiled or blank ballots, he requested a recount.
My half of the voters that wanted me are probably more than pleased that I'm taking one more step because they wanted me in there.
Now, according to Vermont statute under Title 17, Chapter 55, Section 2685, a petitioner may request a recount, and that can be done by optical scanner or by hand, since it's believed that the optical scanner could have had something to do with the discrepancies or problems with the votes. Each and every vote is being reviewed by a human.
Whenever there's a recount, the Board of Civil Authority oversees the recount, and whenever there's a question on the ballot, there's 17 of us or 16 of us, we have that vote to determine if that ballot is spoiled or just if there's an issue with the ballot at all.
Besides the Board of Civil Authority, the town clerk asks members of the community to help count as well.
Just randomly. I mean, I don't have much time to pull people together. I try to get people who have done it before so that they know what they're doing, and sometimes I just have to call people.
Scheduling the recount for noon on a Sunday seemed a little unusual to Timpson.
Yeah, I thought it would probably a little more inconvenient with church and everything, that people that might want to be here are just getting out of church and they haven't had their dinner for church and stuff, so yeah, I would have thought 1 o'clock, 1:30 would have been a better situation. But
so today was the only day that we could have it because I had to find a place, get my crew together, and Monday night there's a select board meeting.
The recount had to be completed by Tuesday night, which was the deadline, and other meetings were scheduled for then.
Short one?
In the end, the vote totals changed, but not the results. Winning candidates Alan Ruggles and Bill Merrow gained 2 additional votes. Challenger Tim Persons had the biggest gain with 15 votes, and Timpson lost 15 votes.
I think the process went very well. As myself, as having recounts before in my races on the state side, that it really gives that final closure. This is what the intent of the voters of St. Johnsbury cast their vote to make sure every vote was counted, and the outcome is the outcome.
Taxpayers have spoken. That's where I am. That's where I am. Yeah, I'm going to run next year. Yes.
In 2012, 3 of the 5 select board seats will be open for election. Chris Peltier, News 7, St. Johnsbury.
Our coverage of the 61st annual St. Johnsbury Kiwanis Auction kicks off tonight with an impact on the area covering many generations. News 7's Nadine Grimley is live at the Father Lively Center. Nadine?
Thanks, Michelle. This auction is held every year in order to raise a majority of the money needed for the pool. Now I'm going to introduce you to a few Kiwanians that stand behind all the magic.
Meet Nicholas Bullock.
I'm a tax preparer here in St. Johnsbury. I own my own firm.
This is Robin Jacobs.
I sell real estate for Caldwell Banker All Seasons Realty in Lindenville.
And this is Brent Beck.
I'm a member of numerous organizations. One of the bigger obligations I have is as a selectman in the town of Waterford.
All 3 have something in common. They are 3 of the 40 members in the Kiwanis Club.
Kiwanians, we have a lot of fun. We do a lot of activities, raise some money for a pool that we keep open.
It's a great organization whose real intent is to better the lives of children and to create youth leaders.
What we're trying to do is help out in any fiscal or any endeavor of the community to make it better. I grew up in St. Johnsbury. My dad was a Kiwanian. I saw what he was doing. He was actually a member of the club way back in the 40s when they built the pool. So I got to really appreciate what they were doing.
I printed out signs last night, so it'll be nice and organized.
And right now, they are all preparing for their biggest fundraiser, the auction that is happening over the next 3 days.
It's a huge organizational event that we do every year starting in November.
There really is a 462, so that's not the one.
First we go out and we try to get donations from our local community.
Then we actually go out and do the grunt work of pounding the streets to make it happen, really.
And even though it takes a lot of time and effort to make all this happen,
it's just nice to be a part of the community and a community that helps so many people.
At the time I felt, they had sort of set me up to do what I was able to do and accomplish in life, and I owed somebody something.
Now, this is the first year the auction is online. Pre-bidding is already underway, and as of yesterday, the club has made close to $5,000. If you would like to bid online, you can do so at stjkauction.com. Or if you prefer to bid in person, the auction begins tonight at 6 p.m. and continues through Wednesday. Reporting live from the Father Lively Center, Nadine Grimley, News 7.
All right, thanks, Nadine. And now meteorologist Allison Shimataro joins us with a first look at our forecast. Allison, with warmer temperatures, do we need to be on flood watch?
Not this week. We don't have to worry about it this week, but it has been a concern. And warm temperatures this weekend did lead to flooding in St. Johnsbury. An ice jam on the Moose River forced some home evacuations Sunday. One of the homes was evacuated as early as 5:30 Sunday morning. The Vermont Emergency Management Agency even sent out a warning. Some homeowners had to use machines to pump out water, flooding their basements, and some homes remain flooded. While ice jams have happened before, most have been less severe.
It's not uncommon for ice jams to occur. The Moose River is a shallow river, and the ice let out. The difference in this particular case is that where the Moose River enters the Passumpsic River, the Passumpsic ice has not let out yet. So that's what's kind of prevented it from going any further downstream. We want to try to provide whatever relief we can to these property owners here on Concord Avenue as quickly as we can, because many of them are having a difficult time keeping up with the water coming in.